It was a crisp October morning in Lambert, Oregon, a quiet town that clung to the banks of the Willamette River like a forgotten story. The air carried the scent of pine and river mist, and the sun cast a pale orange hue over the sleepy streets. On that particular Thursday, 14-year-old Kayla Renshaw left her house like she always did. Helmet strapped, backpack light, pedaling toward school across the Northside Bridge. She had taken that route every weekday for 2 years. But on this day, Kayla never made it to class. By noon, when the attendance officer called her home, panic began to spread through her family like smoke. A frantic search followed, and just before dusk, a passerby reported something strange. A lone bicycle propped against the side railing of the Northside Bridge, its back wheel spinning lazily in the breeze. Her water bottle was still clipped in. Her helmet was gone, and Kayla was nowhere to be found. Kayla wasn't the type to run away. She was grounded, dependable, the kind of teen who texted her mom when she was 5 minutes late, who volunteered at the animal shelter every Saturday, who dreamed of becoming a wildlife biologist. Her teachers described her as bright and focused. Her father, Eric, a retired forest ranger, said she was born of the woods, smart, aware, never reckless. So when search teams scoured the bridge, nearby riverbanks, and trails into the early morning hours and found nothing, it felt like the forest had swallowed her whole. Divers were brought in to search beneath the bridge, but the water was murky and cold. They found no sign of her, not even a shoe, no clothing, no backpack, just the bicycle, still strangely untouched. As days passed, the town of Lambert transformed. The bridge, once a scenic path for joggers and students, became a symbol of dread. Makeshift memorials appeared overnight. Candles, photos, hand-drawn posters with Kayla's freckled face and soft smile. Law enforcement established a 24-hour watch post at the bridge. Drones were deployed. Dogs were brought in. And then one chilling discovery shifted the case. On the third night, a park ranger noticed a small, weathered patch of mud about 20 feet from the bridge trail. There, partially buried beneath fallen leaves, was Kayla's helmet. Not cracked or damaged, just placed, facing upright. Nearby, a distinct boot print. Large. Too large for any local student. It was facing the bridge. As if someone had been watching. The FBI joined the investigation by the end of that week. Phone records, GPS pings, and even her school-issued tablet were analyzed. There were no signs of online grooming. No strange text messages. No enemies. Her family was cooperative. But the case made national headlines once dashcam footage from a logging truck surfaced. The driver, passing over the bridge just minutes after Kayla was expected to cross, captured something eerie. A man, standing alone at the edge of the pedestrian lane. No car, no bag, just standing. He was wearing a gray hoodie and cargo pants. His face was turned away, but his posture was tense. That footage, though grainy, became central to the investigation. Who was he? And why was he standing on the bridge at the exact time Kayla would have passed? The town spiraled into suspicion. Parents pulled their kids from after-school programs. Volunteers canvassed neighborhoods. But each tip led nowhere. Some residents whispered about the river, that maybe Kayla had fallen in, that the current had taken her too far. But her father refused to believe it. She would never lean over that rail. Never, he told reporters. And if she did fall, where's her backpack? Where's her body? The sheriff's department remained tight-lipped, but one deputy leaked to the local paper that the boot print found in the mud matched another from a case 5 years earlier in Washington state. A woman who vanished from a trailhead under similar circumstances. That case had gone cold. Now they feared a pattern. 2 weeks after her disappearance, the case took a stranger turn. A wildlife camera, one installed by a local environmental group to monitor river otters, captured something deeply unsettling. At 3:17 a.m., for days after Kayla vanished, a shadowy figure could be seen walking along the riverbank with something slung over his shoulder. The footage was low resolution, but the shape was unmistakable. It was a person. He stopped, turned toward the camera, and seemed to pause, as if he knew it was there. Then he turned and walked out of frame. When investigators returned to that location, They found a spot where the grass had been trampled and some disturbed dirt, but nothing else. Still, the timestamp aligned with when police had noted the river level dropped slightly. Had he returned to move her? Or had she escaped? As fear gripped the town, Kayla's family turned to the public. They set up a website, offered a $50,000 reward, and began a campaign called Bring Kayla Home. Media outlets across the country picked up the story. And then, just when hope seemed to be slipping away, another clue surfaced. One that made everything feel far more calculated. Kayla's tablet was pinged, briefly, from a rest stop 90 miles south, along Interstate 5. It was a single signal, no follow-up. Surveillance footage from the area showed a dark green SUV pulling in around 2:23 a.m. The driver got out, went inside for 2 minutes, and returned. The license plate was obscured, but the body language, nervous, paranoid. When agents zoomed in on the footage, they saw what looked like a small object being thrown into a trash can beside the vending machines. It wasn't retrieved in time. Trash collection had already occurred. But the lead was real and terrifying. Authorities widened the search radius. Truck stops, rest areas, and rural motels were contacted. They even enlisted the help of behavioral profilers who believed the abductor may be transient, familiar with rural roads, possibly with a history of similar crimes. But then, silence. No more pings. No more sightings. It was as if the earth had closed back over whatever secret it was hiding. Months passed. Lambert tried to resume normal life, but every girl who crossed that bridge now did so in pairs, often glancing over their shoulder. The bicycle was eventually removed, the railing repaired. But no one forgot. Kayla's photo still hung in the windows of the town diner, the pharmacy, even the post office. A town that once prided itself on peace had become a map of unanswered questions. 1 year later, on the anniversary of her disappearance, a candlelight vigil was held at the foot of the bridge. Hundreds attended. The river was silent, moonlit, and haunting. Kayla's mother spoke last. "We still believe," she said, voice cracking. "We still feel her near." As the community bowed their heads, a local detective quietly approached Kayla's father. "We found something," he whispered. It was a journal, discovered during a cleanup project in an old hunting shed 40 miles outside town. The cover was faded, the pages warped from moisture, but the name on the inside, K. Renshaw. The last entry simply read, "Still here." The case, once cold, had stirred again. To this day, Kayla Renshaw remains missing. Her story echoes in every missing child alert, every news brief, every parent's lingering fear. She is not just a photo on a flyer. She is a reminder that even in the safest towns, darkness can hide in daylight. Her case remains open, active, and deeply felt. Law enforcement urges anyone with information, no matter how small, to come forward. And to every family, every teacher, every neighbor, be vigilant. Ask questions, check in, and never, ever ignore a voice that seems afraid. For Kayla, for every missing child, for the ones who vanish, but should never be forgotten. Folded hands, thank you for watching the Vanished Echo Stories. Please like, share, and subscribe to help us bring light to these untold stories.